Hey there, welcome to the Gyro Step, a Milwaukee Bucks podcast, proudly a part of the Blue Wire Podcast Network and the Gyro Step Podcast Network, providing comprehensive Bucks coverage all the time. I am Windisch, one of your hosts. I am here as always with the fiery Rohan Katti. He's got some things to get off his chest on this here podcast, including, unfortunately, I think some more Shemmy takes. Rohan, how's it going?
I'm doing well. It's good to see the Milwaukee Bucks win a game. We're recording right after their win against the Detroit Pistons on Tuesday night. I've got my pressed coconut water here. It's just
Your coconut water is pressed and you are not, which is a good state of being.
I like it. That's a good way to look at it.
But unfortunately, it's not all good news. Even though the Bucks did beat down the Pistons 117-89. They lost a fourth starter for at least a while this season. Khris Middleton, after previously being deemed out with a specifically non-COVID illness, is now in the health and safety protocols. And Coach Mike Budenholzer confirmed today before the game he actually has tested positive. So you can enter the protocols as a close contact. We were hoping that was the case for Khris. Unfortunately, that was not the case. So, in strictly cold basketball terms, he will at least be out a week total, probably a little bit more. We'll see. We don't know.
We don't know.
We don't know. It'll be at least a week. That's minimum. That's just how the codes are. It's got to be at least 7 days off from first exposure, and that's before even returning to the facility. We don't know anything about the severity of his case. We know he was showing some sort of illness symptoms at some point. We don't know if that was directly the COVID or not. Probably, but we don't know. But I think just on a more human level, obviously, get well soon, Khris. Be well, Khris. Take your time, do what you need to do, etc., etc. Hopefully, he and his family are fine, and this this still tough time, right? This still brutal out here circumstances that we find ourselves in, even though we may wish we did not anymore, we still do.
Yeah, it's unfortunate all around. Glad the protocols are in place for this reason so that they can hopefully isolate, do relevant contact tracing. Hopefully Khris is doing okay. Everyone around him is doing okay. We just hope for the best. That first and foremost, that. But yeah, like you mentioned, in terms of basketball, he's going to be missing at least the next 7 days from first contact. Again, we don't know that. This is a timeline that we are okay not knowing because we don't get into the specifics of that. We're not expected to get into the specifics of players and their day-to-day movements and people interactions. That's normal. Normal is that? Yeah, it's normal.
Is anything normal? If nothing's normal, is everything normal?
I think that's what it means. I think it means
the villain
from
The Incredibles. If we all have powers, none of us do. If nothing's normal, is everything normal?
Syndrome.
Yeah,
I think it is.
Yeah,
I think it is normal. It sounded fine when I said it at first, but then I thought about it and I was like, But yeah. I'm just gonna go with let's say normal. We're laboring on about this.
Yeah. But what's not normal, Rohan? What's not normal? Tell us.
What's not normal is all of the other injuries that Milwaukee has been suffering. Well, it's normal for a team to sustain injuries, right? That's a normal thing. It happens. It happens to every team. It happens every year. We wish it didn't, but it does. The NBA hasn't banned injuries yet. Come on, Adam Silver, what are you doing? But they happen. And the Bucks, they've been with their injuries. Like you said, Ty, they're missing their third starter. And
fourth?
It's a fourth starter because Jrue Holiday is out, Dante DiVincenzo is out, Khris Middleton is now out, and Brook Lopez is out. And that's not to who else is hurt? I don't even know. I think it's those four right now.
It might. Is it just those four? You say.
I believe it is.
Just sounds insane. It is just
those four of the five starters.
Yeah. But considering where the Bucks injury report, at least lengthwise, was at a week ago, that is actually less. Now that Rodney Hood, Semi Ojeleye, and Bobby Portis are back in action.
Yes, but my point here is what's not normal about this is that we have zero indication of anything about when these players are set to return. We don't even know sometimes what their injuries are. For example, Rodney Hood was on the injury report. He left last game with a right hand contusion. Now we find out today, oh, by the way, it's a left hand contusion. That was today, Tuesday, right?
Yeah.
It's just, that is absolutely bonkers. Either they diagnosed his contusion wrong, which side it was, which hand it literally was. They marked it wrong and then just failed to recognize their mistake and then realized, oh, shoot, it's his other hand the next day. Or they're just not taking the injury report seriously and they just do not care what happens outside of their realm, which is what I'm leaning to believe here.
Because they have given other indications.
Yes, and that is the lack of any other injury timeline for those 4 starters. We have no idea when Brook Lopez is, like I said, Khris Middleton does not count. That's a special circumstance. Brook Lopez, no idea. He played the first game. It's still back stuff, and he's been gone. Jrue Holiday, he's played 2 games. We have no idea. He's had like 5 different injuries all at once, apparently, but they can only list one at a time, so they choose a different injury every time they list him. And then Dante, we know he had ankle surgery. When's he scheduled to come back? What timeline is he ahead of? What is happening here? This is bothering me. I've been talking about this for the last couple episodes, but what on earth is going on here? Can you act like a normal sports franchise? Please, Milwaukee Bucks. I was compiling a list of names before we started recording of players who have injury timelines just in the last few days that we've gotten, like the last 2 days. Maxi Kleber slated to miss the next 7 to 10 days with a strained oblique. Pascal Siakam will return to game action within the next 2 weeks. Devontae Graham likely available Tuesday. Nicholas Claxton expected to miss 7 to 10 more days. Daniel House expected to miss the Rockets' next 2 days. Kendrick Nunn reevaluated in 2 to 3 weeks. These are normal. For any other franchise, it is normal to receive any sort of timeline or any indication of what the injury is, how rehab is, or whatever. Sure, they don't have to tell us, evidently, because they're not. But what's going on here? Why all the secrecy? There's no competitive advantage to be gained here. It's the regular season. You've already shown that you do not care about the regular season. So what's the competitive advantage here? Do you have any answer, Ty? Can you think of anything?
No, I can't. I will say the one that really bothers me is Lopez. I think Jrue, and I wish they would give more clarity, but so on October 31st, which was Sunday, Eric Name of The Athletic, everyone listening knows who Eric Name is. This is what Bud said on Jrue Holiday. Jrue, I think we'll see how he feels in the morning. He actually got some basketball work in today, and I think he's trending in a good direction. Okay, you know what? If you just want to make it clear that he's kind of on a rolling game-by-game basis, I can live with that. That's some info, right?
You know what? That's the same sort of timeline that the Denver Nuggets are giving for Jamal Murray. You want to know what the latest update for Jamal Murray is?
What?
Murray knee is progressing with his rehab from a torn ACL, but remains without a timetable. That is exactly the same thing that you just said, except one player has a torn ACL, which is a season-ending injury, and one of them, we don't know.
That's true. The Lopez one is worse. Here was the latest update on Brook Lopez. This is also from Eric Name of The Athletic. Brook, there's nothing new. There's not a new update, and there never really has been a timeline. But he's doing good stuff in the weight room, doing good stuff to get better, and he'll continue that.
Doing better for what? What exactly is happening here? I get it. I was saying,
what, back soreness? That's what it's listed out as? Yep. That's it, right? That's not an injury. That's a state of being. Not. How is there no timeline for back soreness?
See, again, like I was saying, they don't have to give us anything, right?
Clearly.
They really don't. But the thing is, they're still not giving us anything.
They're giving us less than
nothing.
And
it's so frustrating.
Brook Lopez is a 7-footer who weighs 265. I'm sure he has back soreness every day. He's over 30. He's played in the NBA for more than a decade. His back is going to hurt. This clearly is not just my back's a little sore. You're out with no timetable, Brook. Clearly, there's something going on that's a little more serious than a bit of a sore back. I'm sure almost all NBA players have routine soreness all over the place. They jump like a million times a day. It kind of comes with the territory. Like, it's just so weird to me that this is not seen as a bigger deal by more people, that we're just like getting nothing, getting absolutely nothing. The Khris thing is different, but and Dante, I mean, I kind of get that. Like, at least Dante had surgery and he saw him scooting for months, so clearly he wasn't going to be that close. But to have no idea, just nothing.
They never
really.
even disclosed what bone he broke, by the way.
He's just the foot-ish area, lower leg.
No, it's ankle.
Ankle,
what?
Sure.
What part? There's multiple parts.
All of it. The whole thing.
Again, they don't have to tell us anything. I get that. I understand that.
Not?
So I don't want to. No, they don't. Clearly not.
Well, I think they have to say at least a little bit. I think that's why
well, that's what they're doing on their injury reports.
I wonder if they're going to hear something from the league at some point. Because this is like a thing. I think it's partly tied into just media relations. Like the same reason that players have to talk, even when they don't want to. If they play, sometimes they skip, but for the most part, you have to talk to media and you have to disclose the injury stuff. I think the reason for the reports is largely gambling related, but for whatever it is, like it is built in there. I do feel like they're pushing it a little too much. I have not gone and looked up what the media injury disclosure rules are. But clearly there is rules. If there weren't, no team would ever say anything, right? Like,
and again, it goes beyond just being a rule. It's doing a disservice to people who follow your team, people who cover your team. Like that's part of, like, just as a fan, you can say that it's part of the fandom, knowing exactly what's going on. By taking a stance of, oh, by the way, we don't have to tell you anything, so we're not going to tell you anything. You're disclosing, you're not including people in that fandom, that part of the experience, which is just a tragedy.
Yeah, I agree. It sucks. Are we done? I feel like
I don't know how much more I could tell. I could yell about this for the next hour.
I know. I think we've covered the main points, at least that people will be interested in. It would be nice if they were a little bit more transparent. They probably won't be anytime soon, but it would be nice. And hopefully, more importantly, though, hopefully some of these guys get back sometime soon.
Yeah.
Because
they might be fine. We have no idea.
As nice
They might be just okay. How are we supposed to know, Ty?
We're not. As nice as this win was, I am getting sick and tired of watching Milwaukee Bucks, Sandro Mamukelashvili. I'm ready to watch him on the herd. I'm getting sick of watching him as a Buck. But let's talk about the current team for a little bit. Obviously, all of these guys are extremely missed, and we're hoping that they all get back to playing basketball sometime soon. We don't know when that will be. It sounds like out of the 4 players currently out, Drew is probably the likeliest to be back first. I think Dante's still in last. I think we can put some things together. I think we can safely say that.
Sure.
We've gotten that much. And he did come back, and then he re-aggravated something in his
heel.
Or
he had a completely different injury.
Or it was completely different. Whatever it was. But it sounds as like completely different. It was. It sounds like he is the closest. Who knows with Khris? It could depend by a lot. We have no idea with Brook, and we have no idea with Dante. Although, I know this was like the whole crux of the last collab pod we did, but I sure hope they would have found a way to bring in some sort of other big man if they thought Brook would be out anywhere as close to Dante. I sure hope so, is all I'll say. We don't know. I don't know how mad to be about them not bringing in a big man, because we don't know if Brook is going to be back by Friday or by December. We have no idea.
We're coming back to this. We need to get out of it.
Yeah, I know. I was trying, and then I fell back into it too. 117-89 over the Pistons. I actually want to start this talking about the Pistons. Does Cade suck?
No.
He sucks right now.
It's too early. It's his second game coming off an ankle injury. It's too early.
He sucked tonight.
Come on. He's 2 games into his NBA career.
I'm not writing him off. Does Killian Hayes suck?
We have a larger sample of that.
Still maybe not, but it's not been great.
Again, yeah, still maybe not. He's shown flashes. But yeah, this team stinks, man.
They're really bad, dude.
Nothing about this team screams, oh, there's something here. I mean, like, given it was an off night. It was an off night. They shot 8 of 47 from 3.
That's not that off for them. They're shooting like 29% from 3 this year.
And even that's low for them.
They shot 17% tonight, though. That's a good call out. Their shooting splits were 32, 17, 70. That was my first game on the new 2K. That's how bad they've looked.
It's not looking great, which is why it was easy for the ghost of the Bucks to just absolutely annihilate this Pistons team, like, for the 15th time in a row.
I love it. I love it 15. So much. Let's make it 20. Let's make it 34. My new favorite number. Giannis Antetokounmpo.
Let's make it 43. My second favorite.
Yeah, I was gonna say that's all you. Giannis for MVP, man. Listen, the Bucks need to get healthy for a lot of reasons, for our sanity, but also for Giannis's MVP case. Because my goodness, what?
I mean, doesn't him doing this without them healthy bolster his MVP case?
No, this early season stuff does for sure. But if they actually finish,
fifth, no, I'm kidding.
They need to finish high.
Plus, it's just a lot of wear and tear on Giannis.
Yeah, that too. But you don't want to win like a fake ass Russell Westbrook MVP. Like, win an MVP the real way by being on a good team and making that team better, not by like, oh look, triple doubles are arbitrary and fun.
Where did the Russ hate come from?
But having to watch him play, my new favorite only me conspiracy theory is if they still suck with him on the floor by the deadline, LeBron's going to get him out of there.
Oh, that's my pull an 18-19 Cavs.
Or yeah, 17-18. He's going to be in the war room with Pelinka, like pressing mute on the speakerphone thing that all conference rooms have.
Send him back to OKC. Can you imagine if they send him to Brooklyn, reunite the OKC trio?
I think KD would join Kyrie in just leaving the league for a while if that were the case, but for different reasons, more justified reasons certainly. But Giannis, 26 minutes and 48 seconds is all it took for Giannis to put up 28 points, 8 rebounds, 9 assists, 4 blocks, including 3 in the span of like 20 seconds. A plus 22, shot 3 for 7 from deep and 7 for 7 from free throw. He's just awesome. Like, he very nearly had a triple-double after I made fun of triple-doubles earlier. He very nearly had 5 blocks as well. Like, something we don't talk about enough is he could have a legit 5x5 game at some point.
About to say that.
That's
you know what's
possible.
Fun? Back in my Behind the Buck Pass days, I remember writing a predicting the stat line for the starters or something. Like, this was like 4 years ago or something. Please don't look it up.
we're gonna share this from the pod Twitter.
Oh God, no. I remember saying like Giannis might be the first player to put up like a triple double and a 5x5 in the same game.
I thought you meant averages. I was like,
oh my God, no.
You were carried away. I know you were younger, but no.
I think I also said maybe the season prior that he might come closer to averaging a triple double than Westbrook the year that we've been talking.
I thought KD was going to do it that year. That was my bold take before that season because he was going to have all those weapons in Golden State, but he's just not that kind of a playmaker. But Giannis could do that in the finals game, man. Like, I would not be stunned. Well, I would be a little. It's so easy to take Giannis for granted, but oh my God.
Giannis also isn't. He's not a guy that gets steals very often.
No, honestly, I think that shows his maturity because a lot of the time when you get a steal, it's a play that can easily turn into a foul if it gets called wrong. And he already just has other ways of picking up fouls that he works so hard to cut back on that going for steals is just a little bit too dangerous, I think, for him at his size. I could see him getting flagged a lot for reaching when he goes for steals. So yeah, it probably won't, but it is possible. What about
definitely possible?
What's more likely? I think I know the answer. Quadruple double.
That might be more likely.
I think it's more likely. I think he got to 4 blocks. Almost all of them came at the same part of the game.
Might do it next game if Brook is still out, honestly.
He might have to. He might have to. He might
against
put
the
up the
Knicks.
first 20-20-20-10, and it'll be like a 5-point win. But holy crap, is he good? The shot looked great. I think he ends 3 for 7, but really he was 3 for 6. I think one of them was a desperation shot clock winding down. Ball bounces off Justin Robinson's chest, and he has to put it up immediately. But just everything about him looked terrific. I was just like, he's just going to be like this every night now, I guess. He's kind of, I mean, it's the Pistons. He's dominated the Pistons for a while, but every part of his game just looks so much more smooth. It's like when the kind of gawky kid comes back super cool to school. That's Giannis. Like he's the Fonz now. Like he's not punching, but putting the fist on the jukebox and just plays the right song. It's just so effortless.
What an analogy!
I'm hoping that happens to me someday. That's why I had that one ready to go.
I'm sure it will. Just find a jukebox. But what stood out to me, well, one of the things that stood out to me by Giannis' performance, the quick trigger catch and shoot 3. I'm sure you remember this, and a lot of people listening to this remember. Yeah. Oh, it might have been third quarter actually.
Never mind. Maybe I'm thinking of a different one.
It was just so quick. It was just like boom, boom rotation. It's like he was in Grayson Allen's spot on like the wing, and it's like, oh shoot, that's Giannis. And he had like a quick trigger. He didn't think about it at all. He just put it up, and it looked like one fluid motion, and it was like, ooh. It looked good. It really did look good. But again, we've talked about this before. Just free throw, 2-point mid-rangers. Those are more important for us than threes. Though, threes are pretty good.
All of it works too. We'll also take it all.
We'll take all of it.
The fadeaway toward the corner on beef stew, I think in the first half, like so pretty. It was one of those where they just kind of needed a bucket, and he was like, all right, I'll go get one then. As soon as he checks back in the third quarter, when I thought he wasn't going to, late in the third quarter, when the Bucks were already like pretty much done playing, they didn't stop, but the game could have stopped. They had won the game, is what I'm saying. He just comes in and dunks all over everyone. Like, he's so much better than everyone in like 98% of the games he plays that it's ridiculous.
Why not 100?
Yeah, actually kind of. Oh, so much better. So much better.
Okay.
I'm saying like against a lot of the league, like there's just no one even in his stratosphere. At least it looks that way. Which
I know. I'm just trying to beat you. But yeah, Giannis shined. Thanasis shined.
He did.
Pat was good.
We gotta talk about Pat. We gotta talk about Pat. Leveled up, dude. Like the finishing. How about the defense? He had 2 steals. I think both in the first half. They were like impressive steals. You know how sometimes you can kind of wander into a steal in the NBA, right? Like you're in the right place at the right time. You just end up with the basketball. And not to say that, steals mean nothing. I think that was an analytics-y talking point for a while. Steals and blocks matter. They're just not all indicative of defense. But 2 impressive steals, 2 assists for Pat. He continues to finish at the rim. Like his finishing is impressive. And 4 for 5 from deep in this game. Like when Giannis wasn't playing, Pat was the best player on the floor in this game. Not for the Bucks. In this game. He was incredible. 16 points for Pat Connaughton. Like, we're 8 games in. How many times has he scored? 15 plus already. Like, this is not something I would have expected, even as a Pat in the Rafters take originator after the playoffs.
It's bonkers. We've talked about this before, but it feels like he's gotten the most from the championship in terms of his level of confidence. And you can see that with his shot. His shot has been inconsistent in the past, and given it will be inconsistent this year, but probably not as to much of a degree where he's been like excised from the rotation in years past. Like that's just impossible now because he does so much more. Like you've been mentioning, his finishing, his short roll playmaking as the ball handler and as the role man. Like what is happening here? Like Pat Connaughton is turning into like the idealized form of Russell Westbrook that can actually shoot.
And you said I came in with the Russ slander.
Pat's really good. I don't know if that's slander at this point.
You know what? In 69 regular season games last year, Nice. Pat scored 16 or more points. He's done that already this season. This was the third time
How
this
many times
year.
did you do it previously?
3 times last year. He
Three
scored
times.
16
Okay.
or more points in a game. He's done 16 or more 3 times in this season. And if you go back 2 years, he did it twice. So we're seeing him score in relative bulk in this year already more than he has in his years with the Bucks previously in either of them. I think he's certainly going to get. He just needs one more to be more than either of the last 2 years. Certainly seems like he's going to get there. And obviously, the team's lack of health plays into this, right? Like he's getting shots he probably wouldn't take. Although it took him 8 shots to get 16 points, so it's not like he's shooting 15 times like Bobby Portis is. 13. Sorry, Bobby. But I think like we talked about Jordan Nwora as a guy who's going to benefit from the opportunity to play right now, and probably Thanasis, I think, is a guy who's benefiting from playing right now. Pat benefiting and getting a little bit more just room to function and room to do more stuff might pay the biggest dividend if he's going to be 10% better by the next playoff run, because he was already damn good, and now we're getting into, I don't want to say elite yet, but we're edging closer, man. Like there's not much he doesn't do at this point.
I think one conversation we need to have is sixth man of the year.
Yeah, honestly, you know what sucks? He might start too much.
Well, how many? Like he's been a spot starter recently.
Yeah.
And again, hopefully, we have no idea.
No idea. We have zero idea.
Hopefully, some starters come back at some point for the Milwaukee Bucks. That's all I'll say.
Yeah.
So
that is the goal.
Yep. He'll be back to his consistent bench role. But sixth man of the year could be a real conversation.
Yeah, I mean, we'll see. Once Portis gets back into shape, I feel like he would be the Buck who gets considered for it, because they just won't start him, which I think is actually the right decision. I saw some talk about this.
I think it's the right decision for Pat as well.
I do too. I think Pat fits better with the starters as a spot starter than Bobby, and I think Bobby fits better as a bench guy.
Correct.
I've seen some hypothesis that, it's just because Bobby's coming back from injury. And he plays differently with the starters. Like the only guy he really would pass to for a lot of this game was Giannis. But I think Pat fits in so well and just always fills the right spots, is a better defensive player. Like I think that is the right call too. But I certainly think like Pat is playing like he's going to be one of the best 5 Bucks again this year, which is super impressive.
It really is. It's not like he was ever in danger of losing a role in the rotation or anything, or it's not like he wasn't going to get minutes even if the entire.
But they did add a lot of good forwards.
I know they did, but Pat's really good.
He is really good, but it's not like he was ever in danger. I think is underselling. I mean, like if Rodney and Shemi came in and were really awesome, which they haven't, but if they were, and Nwora comes on, like. There were questions. Like I think there is the chance for a guy, Dante, to lose his spot based on some of the new additions. Obviously, there's extenuating circumstances in that one, namely the injuries. But I don't think anything is guaranteed. And it helps if you come out and play like one of the best few guys on the team, and that's what Pat has done. Yeah, certainly now there's no chance whatsoever of him not playing top 5 or 6 minutes per game in the playoffs like he did last year.
Yeah, there's no shot at this point. But let's talk about some of the other guys who have not really seen as much success as Pat. That seems like we're going to talk about someone bad, but we're not. Jordan Nwora looks more comfortable as the games go on. This is probably his best showing in a little bit.
Since opening night, I would say.
Yeah, he looked a little shell-shocked as the season started about like, oh man, I'm in this role now. Am I continuing to be like, a microwave scorer type guy, or do I have to play more within myself? Like, oh my God, what do I do? How do I balance those two things? It takes time.
It does.
And he's starting to figure out that balance now. When he should go get his own, when he should play with the other starters within himself. And he's also like getting more comfortable with the game, getting more comfortable with high competitive circumstances because he's not used to playing in those in the NBA. I don't know. He looked good, and that driving dunk was nice. That was nice.
3 assists, 5 rebounds for War. He did have 2 turnovers, but I was glad to see him dishing the ball a little bit and just making shots because really, with Khris out for a while, we've talked about this. Wara is the closest on the team to Chris's skill set. Now, maybe now Grayson, you could put a little bit.
He looks like a younger version of Khris.
Rodney Hood, you could put in there, but yeah, I mean, quote Drew Holiday indeed. This is now right here. Now it becomes a much bigger opportunity for War. Like losing Brook Lopez, it just means the team's going to be in worse shape. It doesn't change that much for him. Down Drew and Khris, and even if Drew comes back soon, probably going to get ramped up a little bit, might sit out some back-to-backs or something like we saw Hood and Shemi trade off the back-to-back last weekend as they get back healthy. Now this is really like, okay, Wara, even if you're not starting, there's clearly a points deficiency. You're down Drew, you're down Khris, you're down Brook, and Dante for whatever that's worth. Giannis can't do all of it, so that's why seeing him put up 16, Pat put up 16, Bobby get his 12, Justin Robinson gets 11, TA 9, Grayson 8. George Hill somehow just 4. Classic George Hill game, in all honesty.
Somehow just 4? What do you mean? Apparently that's the output that high offense guys get.
Shemi had 4 tonight as well.
He scored, though. Congrats.
He did score.
Congrats to Shemi Ojale.
Doves are released. He's rounding into form. He's on track to score like 100 points per game by the end of the season if this increase continues. He's increased his scoring output infinitely since his first 2 games. That means something to me. But okay, Wara, it's big time for Wara right now.
It is big time for Wara. But let's just talk about Shemi.
It
feels like it's not looked great, and it feels like it may seem like I'm rooting against Shemi to go for my own takes. That's not the case. I want to make that clear. That is not the case. I will not actively root against Shemi Ojale. I want him to succeed. I want to be proven wrong. I just don't. I
figured out what the problem is.
What's the problem, Ty?
They want him to play as a big guy. He doesn't know how to do it. He has no idea. He's used to being a big wing. They're not asking him to do that a lot of the time. He looks better when he's out there, obviously with Giannis or even Portis when he's like more on the perimeter. When he, especially offensively, like when they have him set screens, he doesn't know how to roll. Like he just meanders in the paint and just kind of clogs up the lane. Like he's not vertical enough to be a lob threat. It's just not good.
He's not a great passer.
He's not from the post. No, he turns the ball over too much. Like he's not a short roll guy. Like his offensive role needs to be much closer to PJ Tucker than it does Bobby Portis. Like just the Bucks don't really have that many guys who just roll, but that's what they're trying to have him do. He's not good at it. I
said John Henson like he's still on the team.
It's been a while.
I don't know.
Robin Lopez, I guess. I don't know. But he's just Mamu. Mamu is probably a little closer. Like he can't do the Mamu stuff. Mamu's not great at it either.
Robin Lopez?
Yeah. He probably rolled per possession more than Brook ever did.
That's fair.
But yeah, I think that's the issue. Is like, I think that's what they want to get out of him. I think they're going to have to recalibrate it, and he could end up being this year's Torrey Craig, where they're just like it's not working. If that's what they're wanting to get out of him, because it doesn't look like he's ready to do that, and that's going to be an issue. Like I got excited mostly about what are they going to look like playing so small? Like they keep talking up Shemi as a big. If they're expecting him to be like a literal 5 on the floor, I don't think it's gonna work. Like he can do Bobby's role on defense when they just switch. I think that's fine. Sure, they're not going to be a great rebounding team because he's not.
That's where he's going to excel.
That's it. Yeah, that's his role, right? So on defense, he either just like guards a wing guy, which I think that's optimal, or a big, and you just switch stuff. Offensively, though, he's got to be out on the perimeter. Like that's it. Like that's his role. He can, crash in if someone's closing out hard and, go for a layup or something. But they're trying to utilize him like a traditional big on offense. And you can just see he's very hesitant. He doesn't go to the right spots. If anything, just pop. Like just have him pop every time. At least that would accomplish some more spacing. They're having him roll and it's just terrible. Like it just doesn't work at all. So I think I think they'd be better off to just rejigger his role entirely because I don't think they're going to be able to teach him how to be what they want him to be. But so far, he's just not played well generally, and that's, I think, been an issue for him.
Yeah, and that'll come with time. We can't make rash judgments right away, right?
Also, we've never seen him play with Brook Lopez. I think he'd look a lot better
That's true.
out there with Brook, and maybe even with
a lot of these guys are going to look a lot better with Brook Lopez. Again, maybe. We don't know. Whatever.
Well, they will. It's just we don't know when he's coming back, but when
is he coming back? Who knows?
Hopefully.
Yeah.
But no, it's looked bad, and they need to process how they look at him differently because he cannot do the things that, like 3 different times he sets a screen and he's just like, and this is a pet peeve of mine. So this is like, I have a lot of internal conflicts. I love Shemi, but I hate bigs not playing big, and that's what's happening. Like he doesn't do it. So that's going to be an issue for them. One last note on screens. Giannis is going to start getting called for illegal screens at some point. Look what he does with his feet. He slides every single screen. It's unbelievable. They get him for carries like 4 times a game now. I can't believe I've never seen it called. He does. They
called Bobby on it.
Well, it's easier to call it on Bobby than Giannis, but I can't believe they've never gotten him for all the weird rules they've gotten Giannis on. Like, just next time you watch a game, if you listen to this, you don't know what I'm talking about. Watch anytime he sets a screen, he will slide one way or the other, like he's on a 90s wedding dance floor. You can't do that. That's not in the rules. He just does it. It's great.
I think the way he gets away with it is that his upper body is so big that they still take the screen square, so it doesn't matter what his feet are doing.
It must be.
But yeah. But they're still very illegal.
You know what? They're gonna get him. You know when they're gonna get him when they play someone or someone like Chris Paul. Like if the guy who he hits goes flying, then they're gonna have to call it. I think that's the real.
Oh, it didn't happen in the finals.
That's true.
I don't know. And they're less keen to call embellished calls now. So
we love it. Hey. Take fouls are on the docket. Huge news. I hope they do it in season. Get rid of take fouls.
Are they actually on the docket?
Yeah, the competition committee is talking about it, and they're.
Did I miss that?
Yeah, that came out today.
Oh, let's go! Finally, my goodness, it's taken away the transition game.
It's terrible. They're spiking this year too. The 3 rule changes I want to see: the offensive contact. I'm trying to line up with the camera. This is on YouTube. Offensive contact, good. Take fouls, good. Ban Kelly Olynyk. The big 3 rule changes I need to see for basketball viewing pleasure. Once the Adam Silver do those 3 things, we're going.
And ban injuries. Come on.
And ban injuries. The big 4.
Kelly, I don't know what Kelly Olynyk's problem is, man. I don't know what it is. I don't know how you can go to sleep at night playing like that.
Or just like that, his style, everything about him, whack. Like that old video, that classic meme.
His hair, whack.
His illegal screens, whack. Pulling Kevin Love's arm out of his socket, whack.
Me, I'm redacted. But yeah, the goatee as well.
Just I don't know. Enough about him. It's a moratorium.
All right. Get to see him 3 times a year now.
And he gets to lose every single time,
not in the playoffs though.
No, that's not.
Which is important
now. Gonna be a while for that one. You pick 3 more guys I want to talk about.
Okay, let's talk about Thanasis.
Oh, that was not okay. We can do that. That was not one of the 3.
Okay, I'll just make it quick then.
He's excelling in his role. I'll let you go, but he is excelling in his role.
He knows what exactly he needs to do, and he does it really, really well. He knows where to go in terms of finding the right spots, reading and reacting to both offenses and defenses in terms of like, oh, where can I get a lane here? Where can I get a lane here? He just knows what to do in those situations, and it's great. And he's like, I don't know, it feels good. It feels good watching him play like this. He's excelling in his role. Again, 4 for 4 from the field, mostly because they're right at the rim, and 1 of 2 from the charity stripe. 8 rebounds from Thanasis. 2 steals. What more can he ask for? He even passed the ball. He had an assist.
Dunker spot king. Just a terrific game.
Easily replicable, allegedly.
And I feel like, I feel like at least
And
one of his
clearly not.
turnovers was pretty late in the game as
You're
well.
just gonna keep it going.
Yeah, I am. Did I say easily replicable?
You said you said Shemi definitely could.
Maybe not.
That's a win.
I want to give him a little more time. I don't think Shemi is operating.
I'll take a maybe.
Yeah,
a maybe is good because again, we haven't seen the final version of Shemi Ojeleye in this Bucks offense and defense yet. There's still time.
There is.
Okay, who are the three guys you wanted to talk about?
I'll let you pick, and we can go kind of quickly on all of them, I think. Grayson Allen, who I feel like Twitter is being very rude to. I think that's a Trump quote, actually. But I do feel that way. Bobby Portis and Justin Robinson.
Let's end on a high. So let's talk Grayson.
I think this is high for me, too. It's like, I feel like people are focusing on results, not process. I like a lot of what Grayson's been doing. I'd like for them to use him a little more.
Ty, you can't say that after the trust the results thing.
Fair. But I mean, it's a regular season though. Like I like the way he plays. I think he has a couple moments each game where I'm like, oh, they haven't gotten that kind of, they haven't had a guy who can do stuff like that outside of the best 3 to 4 players on the team for quite a while. This one was the step back 3. He stepped back like a mile and hit a 3 in someone's face. He had 2 blocks in this game, one of which was like, holy crap. No assists, so I'd like to see him do a little bit more playmaking, but I think part of the reason he's not is Giannis, George Hill, Jordan Nwora, and Justin Robinson, of all people, were like actually doing quite a good job playmaking today, so there wasn't that much of a need. But and Pat did a little bit too. But I like what I'm seeing. He's not hitting a ton of shots, but to me, almost every time that Twitter's been like, oh my God, are we sure about this guy? Like the difference in his line looking very good was literally like one more made 3. Like if he's 50% from deep and he has 11 points and you're like, oh, 11 and 3, 50% from deep, great game. He's 33% from deep. It's like, oh, I don't know about him.
It's the shooting variance. It's the Pat Connaughton problem from a few years ago. That's exactly what's going on. You can't be mad at the performance. I agree with your take about like you can't trust the process over the results of these in this situation. I was just making fun of you there.
No, I know.
But it's just you can't be mad. We know from a large sample of evidence that Grayson Allen is a good 3-point shooter. We know that. It's just sometimes you have an off game. It's a Tuesday night in Detroit. Like, who cares?
Also, I think he shot like crap, I'll say, for most of the games this year. He had the one really good one. He's still 36.8% from 3 this season. So it's not like he's shooting 22%. Like he's below his average. I think he's going to hover around 40 with the Bucks. Career, he's 38%, and really his rookie year was quite bad. Then back to back his 2 years in Memphis, 40.4 and 39.1%. So I think he'll be around 40%, but I think there's 2 extenuating circumstances. 1, random variance. 2, the other thing we keep talking about that people are not acknowledging, and this was the worst, whatever the last loss was, I forget which game it might have been Spurs, or maybe it was Utah. It might have been Utah. Just like this freaking out, like Grayson's not good, this guy's not good, that guy's not good. Grayson is going to be the 5th option on offense in most of his playoff minutes. The vast majority of his, as if they can go deep, right? If they're in the finals, he's going to be 4th or 5th the whole time. They're going to have better players around him pretty much all the time. Right now, he's like 2nd. Like the starting lineup tonight was Giannis Thanasis, Grayson, Pat Connaughton, and George Hill. Like he is going to be surrounded by Giannis, Chris, Drew, and Brook a lot of the time. He's going to look way better. Like everyone is going to look way better. They're just getting through it now. So I'm not concerned. Mark me down as a Grayson Allen believer. The extension is going to look like a bargain by the trade deadline. I'm all in. I've not Shemi, I'm a little shaken. I'm reading the reading materials. Not on Grayson. I'm burning the reading materials.
Shemi, excuse me, Ty, you're out here setting more timetables than the Bucks are.
Yes. I'm a timetable guy. What can I say? It's in
You're
my
a
name.
tie table.
You can't spell timetable without tie, but you can spell it without Bucks. Well, I guess this would be. Okay, let's do Portis, because if you want to end on a high note, it's not going to be Portis for me.
I see. Here's the thing with Portis. I know you're going to get upset about his first half, and that's fair.
His tear is garbage.
It wasn't great. It was a lot of bad shots.
It was processed bad shots too. Like,
yeah, it's a lot of just like, why are you doing this? what is happening here? Why are you trying to take like these contested long twos and stuff like that? But here's the thing. One, he did pick it up in the second half. He played more with it.
He dodged the down stock on the. It's not out yet as we record, but the Bucks stock report.
He did.
Yeah, spoiler alert.
But two, he's just getting back into game shape.
He is, but again, if he took a bunch of great shots and missed them, I'd be like, okay, whatever. It was bad process, but I do think there is a relation, just like the Grayson Allen point, and like. When he's out there with Giannis, he plays different. There's going to be here and there, he's going to take an ill-advised shot, but he's not running off 5 shots in 2 minutes or whatever, and they're not all terrible. Like, he's finding Giannis, he's working more in actions. And honestly, it wouldn't shock me if there was a little bit of messaging from the team to Bobby, like, hey, we need you to be a primary scorer in some of these lineups. I mean, they kind of did before, even in some lineups, but certainly right now, like, if you're out there with Shemi, George Hill, Justin Robinson, Rodney Hood, Bobby Portis, we need you to be an offensive fulcrum, and he can do that time to time. But he definitely has been pressing since returning to action. So I'm hoping to see – I think we're going to see a better version. But I've not been thrilled so far, but it's so early, and I do think it's just a weird situation for Bobby. And honestly, even taking those bad shots, he'll usually be more efficient than he was tonight because he's such a shot maker.
Yeah, it's just this is going to be the ups and downs of Bobby Portis' experience. We know this from last season. We're going to continue to see it this season. Hopefully a little bit better, though, as he is in the second year with this team. But it goes to the point maybe he just like, man, we need some offense. Khris is out, Drew is out, Brook is out, Dante is out. We need some buckets. And Bobby's going to give you some buckets. And it didn't really go his way.
But I mean, he still ends up with 12 points, which they need points. They need points.
He had a big putback dunk. He had a big scream at the crowd or just himself, and it was just like, nice. There you go, Bobby.
I'm not, to be clear, I think I've ragged on him on Twitter a bit, certainly on here just now. I'm by no means out. I have not loved the early season Bobby experience, but you still, even like in this game, like that putback, I was like, okay, I'm back in. I'm all the way in again.
He's fighting.
You just can't stay mad at Bobby for long.
How could you?
Milwaukee's home.
Yes. We're claiming him, just like Pat has claimed Milwaukee.
He sure has. Pat's going to end up with Packers season tickets somehow. Like, he's all in.
He might already.
He might.
Have we seen Pat at a Packer game ever? I don't know if we have.
Was he at the one Giannis was at?
I don't know.
Someone will have to dig.
I think Delly was there. Khris was there, right?
I think so. I honestly don't remember.
Am I making that up, or was Delly there?
I'm sure Delly was there.
I have to look this up later. But yeah, let's get to the third guy, and that's Justin Robinson. Let's get some love to Justin Robinson. After the Spurs game, I did give him an upstock, and that was just like, I feel like we're not appreciating him enough. Now he's like good.
Yeah, I think, and I feel bad because I let Adam didn't even really talk me out of it. Just like his age, the fact he's a little older than I thought. But honestly, if he can just be solid, it doesn't matter. Like, I don't need to worry about his ceiling. I think that's an important thing with some of these guys who come on and play well. There's this obsession with like, what is his ceiling? What is he going to be? Who cares? If he's a good player now, that's what the Bucks need. And that's just fine. That's fine. And he's been that. I mean, I would argue this is about a perfect game for Justin. He doesn't shoot 100% from the field, but he makes his only 2-pointer, half of his 6 attempts from 3 rebounds, including 1 offensive, 4 assists, no turnovers, 11 points off the bench for Justin Robinson. It was their 5th leading scorer in this game. just he's been not really good most nights. He's been solid at least most nights. That's a huge return from a two-way contract guy who's having to play because they just don't have enough players. Like he's
I think
legitimately.
that's the thing. It's just we know that once Drew Holiday's healthy, he's just not going to have a role. So that's maybe leading to why it's like, oh man, Justin Robinson, because it's like once this team's fully healthy, he's not going to have a spot for now. For now, we'll see. But yeah, he's doing more than you can ask for here. It's just he's putting up good points. He's playmaking well. I know I've talked on the pod before about how it's like he has the right idea for a lot of stuff, but he's actually turning those ideas into smart plays now. We're seeing the development of this player just on a game by game basis. He does. Like he's had some misses in previous games. Obviously, we've talked about that, but now he's starting to get used to it, get more comfortable with it, and he's just putting it together. He's not missing his passes as often. It's good. It's more than you can ask for in this role. And even taking context away, like just ignore the fact that he's just an injury replacement guy right now. Ignore the fact that he's probably not going to have a role. Ignore the fact that he's on a two-way. He's playing good backup point guard minutes for a good NBA team.
Yeah, I mean, he is right now a solid backup. He's honestly, it's funny. He's basically doing what Mike James did. My obsession with Mike James. That's what he reminds me of out there. He's just a solid dude. You're just like, oh yeah, I'm fine with this guy. If this guy has to play 18 minutes in any given game, what did he play in this one? 24 minutes in this game. Sure, no issue with that. That's a nice feeling, man. Like
he played more than George Hill. Again, a lot of that came in garbage time, but still.
Yeah, and I think some of that too is like George Hill preservation, which is obviously going to be a goal. I don't think there's any way he ends up with a real rotation spot down the line. If there is, he wouldn't take Hill's spot. It would be like, okay, we're going to look at Hill as more of a 2. That would be the one way that it even be possible.
Yeah, or if they want to save George Hill throughout the regular season.
Yeah,
like
I think
the backup
during the
point guard minutes.
Yeah, I think there's that. I mean, it's such a luxury, right? Like if you go, we'd like to give George the night off once Drew gets back. Okay, call up Justin Robinson. Like we can,
whenever that is.
Someday, hopefully when that happens, we know Justin Robinson is good for a solid 20 minutes. That's a huge luxury. And if going forward, the Bucks plan for two ways is like one will be a lottery ticket, your Mamu, and then one is like this guy is solid, and we think he's like a very nice break glass and case of player. That's gonna be your Justin Robinson. I think that's a good strategy, and kind of like I guess you could compare it to what they did with Frank Mason, although Frank never got to play as much as Justin, even when they did have point guard injuries. Like when Drew was out for a while, was he the two-way? No, he wasn't a two-way last year, but Frank never got to play. That was 2 years ago.
Yeah.
There was a time when it seemed like he should have played because they always will bring the two-way guys on the West Coast trip just in case of disaster every year. And the Bucks, I remember one of those games, they had guys sitting out and they were like, no, he had like 2 minutes or something. So it's nice to see.
I'll never forget Frank Magic, I almost said. Frank Mason's minutes during the Orlando series in the playoffs.
That was a while. And then he went on to be a Magic man for not very long, I think. But
oh yeah, that was last year when every single point guard they signed immediately got injured.
Yep, including him, unfortunately. But now he's, I believe he's a South Bay Laker right now.
Oh, good for him.
Betrayal. Speaking of betrayal, Brandon Knight is trying to butter his way up to get on the Heat.
Is he really?
Yeah. Well, I did look at. So he said something about being a Heat fan forever or whatever, and I was like, hold on. He was born in Miami, Florida. So okay. I gave him a pass.
Didn't he get like signed and released by the Knicks in the same day?
I think so. I think it's a G League thing.
Yeah. I
think they wanted his G League rights, but I think obviously he wants an NBA deal. Don't know if it's coming for my guy. Not in Milwaukee, certainly with the way Justin.
No, they got Justin Robinson. Yeah,
he's probably better right now as we stand.
Do you know how this is such high praise for Justin Robinson? In that Ty is saying we have Justin Robinson, we don't need Brandon Knight.
That's huge. That's honestly that's how
that's
you know
the
that
most ringing endorsement.
That's massive. Yeah. If Brandon Knight was a center, I would be tweeting every day.
Or we have Brandon Knight play center.
After what DeAndre Jordan did to him, I don't think we want Brandon Knight in the paint often. Do you know that dunk?
Yeah, of course I do.
Oh, well, you didn't react. I expected some sort of reaction. I didn't get it.
It's like the most famous alley-oop of all time.
Yeah, it probably is.
Yeah. I was quoting it the other day with one of my buddies.
How do you quote an alley-oop?
The call.
Oh.
Ralph Lawler's call on it.
Okay, fair enough.
What a monster jam for DeAndre Jordan.
Now
That's my Ralph
that
Lawler
was a
impression.
hostile act.
That really was a hostile act. But if we're talking centers, J.O.B. all the way.
Do we know where is he?
I don't know.
Oh.
But I think the last thing we have to touch on here, if we've gone through all the players, is that the Milwaukee Bucks did unveil their mixtape City Edition jerseys. Ty, I'm going to let you go first. Talk to me about these jerseys.
You know, I initially said 7 out of 10. I think I'm going to revise it to 6 out of 10. I'm going to drop it down 1 because I think I had the right idea in my head of what I thought, but I messed up the number. I think they're okay. They're like good mid. They're like the good end of mid. I don't think they're terrible. People hate the blue. I am people. The blue does not belong on this thing. I don't know. You probably not, 'cause you had a very busy day. Adam and Jordan did a 3-hour podcast, as they're wont to do. And a lot of it, and honestly, I was like very engrossed by the jersey talk. It was an excellent pod. And they went deep in on the Bucks' kind of lack of a visual identity, which I think they made you go listen to it. I know we basically putting out 2 within 12 hours or so here, but go listen to that podcast if you haven't already. But all that said, the blue should not be a Bucks color. It just isn't. It's a force. They should have gone back to red. I know the Bucks' current regime thinks that red and green is just bad because of the terrible Christmas jerseys they inherited. But classic Bucks red and green, I think, is very, very good. Look on YouTube right here. Look at the win in 6. That looks sick, right? Like that's basically what the Bucks used to be rocking with. And then they messed it up by the time that Lazary and Edens bought the team. But the blue is like, I just don't like it. I don't think it works as well as the red would have. I don't think it works on this jersey. But I love that kind of the letter mark. It is like it's a throwback to the older ones. I think it's quite good. I think overall, especially with the jerseys, they're pretty sharp looking uniforms. I just think they're fine. I don't think they're great. I don't think they're great at all. But I don't think they're terrible. I just think they're fine.
I don't like them.
That's fair. What don't you like?
I don't. See, here's the thing. Some of the individual elements are good, right? Like you mentioned, the letter mark. That's good.
I think I think that carries the jersey, honestly. Like the Bucks with the fonts.
Here's the thing. It doesn't. It doesn't carry the jersey because the rest of it is just a mashup.
I didn't say it carries it to a championship. I think it's the best part. I'll say that.
Yeah, it is the best part, inarguably. But it's somehow this jersey manages to combine so many different things and look terrible at it while trying to combine all these things while still being boring. Like how do you do that? How do you have such poor elements on this jersey yet it's still boring? And the good letter mark. Like, what is this? It's just white on the front with the letters. What is this? This is supposed to be like your fun jerseys, your most out there jerseys in terms of design. Get creative with it. Make like the black jerseys. Like, I know you don't like the black jerseys, but
I do. I don't like one of them, but overall, I own a Fear the Deer jersey. I don't hate that.
I like that concept. Like it's hit or miss. I feel like I'm out of my element. I'm not usually a jersey guy, but these jerseys have riled me up. It's just
I think they're inarguably to me better than the water ones.
I don't think they are.
I don't. You know what it is? These, as misguided as they may be, and I hate the wishbone. I don't understand the wishbone. I think it looks stupid. The collar. I don't get it at all. But it's like too many different elements of Bucks, but they are Bucksy. The blue ones, to me, I was just like, it doesn't. It's like I don't know.
See, It's my take on the blue jerseys remains the same as when we talked about it when they unveiled it. Is that it would look better if it was like people would feel better about them if they had no idea what the Bucks were.
For sure. And that's the
Yeah,
issue.
like on its own, it's a pretty well
They're
designed.
fine. Yeah.
Yeah. But in the context of the Bucks, that's where it gets a little iffy and not great. But these jerseys, in the context of the Bucks, and even outside, like imagine if you had no idea who the Bucks were, what the Bucks were, and you just looked at this, you'd be like, what on earth kind of sports franchise wears this? Like it goes from blue to the Irish rainbow to purple. Like, what are you doing?
Imagine if
How
the
do you
blue
do
was
that?
imagine if the blue was just purple though, and how good they would be, I think.
Even the purple doesn't go with the Irish rainbow.
I think you can make it work. I think
It
you can
doesn't.
make it work.
Like you can make it work. That's better than what it. You're right. If they had the purple there instead of the blue at the top, that would be better. It still wouldn't be great. I don't know. I do not like these jerseys at all. The collar you mentioned.
The collar,
it's just,
I think, really sucks.
Why are you doing this? It's also like I just don't like home jerseys in general. Like home looking jerseys where it's just
okay.
where it's just white and then like your letter marks and stuff like that. Like it's just boring. Like have some color, have some pop and design. Like you're choosing to have the pop and design here be on the sides, and even that pop is bad.
The zing and pop.
Yeah, it's not. I'm out. I'm all the way out.
Here, we're gonna do a quick tier list on the pod. I'm sending you a link, just real fast, and we'll share this in the description. I believe Ryan and Six put this together. You can tier list all their post rebrand uniforms. So I think we can just kind of go through them one by. Let's start with this thing. S through D. Are you going to put it in D? I'm guessing.
Yeah, I'm putting these in D.
So it's S. S is the best. S tier is the best. If you're not familiar, A, B, C, D are pretty obvious. I'm putting it in C. I may revise that. For now, I'm putting it in C. I barely remember these like the red kind of retro throwbacks that are next on this thing. I kind of like them.
Though. I like these better because they're sort of similar at the top. Like in terms of like the letter mark and like the design, but they don't have the bad sort of design mashup on the sides.
They kept it nice and simple. They kept
like
it nice
this.
and simple.
Yeah, I'm gonna put this in B.
I put it in B as well. The next one I am putting in S. It's the
because
the
they won
black
the
fear the deer, exactly, with the stripes behind the deer and then the number below it. They won the title wearing these. I'm gonna
put that in A solely because of the title winning. I'm not the biggest fan.
I'm not the biggest. I wasn't, but now it's like, okay, they won the title in those.
Okay, you're right. I'll put it in S tier just for that.
The next one I'm putting in B. The next one is the other Fear the Deer jersey, but with the number like it's in the deer antlers. I think I own one of these, and I liked it a lot at the time. I don't know if that concept has aged well. I don't love the number in the antler thing as much.
I put it in B.
I'll put it in B as well.
Because it's the original black jersey, the original Fear the Deer jersey.
It is. It's a pioneer.
And it works well with the alternate court that they had with it.
That's true.
Especially using the secondary logos more on the shorts. It worked. The next one is just whatever. Is it the association? The road jersey.
The green one. The standard green one.
This is S tier.
No,
this is A tier.
I can't decide between A and S.
This is A.
I will say, as much as we at GSPN, I think Bucks fans collectively rag on how much they've gotten wrong, especially on some of these more or less one-offs. We're very lucky in that the standard, they're excellent. I think they're both excellent.
Without a doubt. Without a doubt, they're really good. And they've had some hits with different edition jerseys, which is their next one, which
S.
That's S
tier.
It's like the green jersey with the antlers. Yeah.
The antlers being cream, I think, is very important. If they were
and
white,
on the sides, it's a good design. It's S. It's perfect. These should be the road jersey.
If they were white, I think I would have it as an A instead. But I am a huge fan of the cream, and this is going to color my take on a jersey coming up. I think they actually nailed it with that color. I think it's very unique in the NBA. I'm not a Cream City Bricks truther. I didn't grow up licking Cream City bricks or whatever the hell some people on Twitter seem to do. But I think it's a great color, and I love leading into it. Like, it feels
it's good. Like,
it's like
it's
perfectly
fine to
Midwestern.
admit. Yeah.
It's so Midwestern.
It's fine to admit that you're emphasizing something that's not super important.
Yeah.
Who
cares?
Just admit it. Be honest about it. I'm taking a shot at one specific person, and they know who it is.
I went back and reread like what they put out, and I love. There's a thing like when they did the grand redesign, they added points to the Buck because he's mightier now than he. I love the weird PR design stuff that we get. But anyway, the next one is the white mecha. So it's the weird. I don't even know how to. If you don't know, just Google Bucks mecha. This is the white one.
C.
Yeah, I think C as well. I have a jersey. I have a Giannis jersey of this. It was a gift. Thanks, Dad. I do appreciate it. It's not my favorite look, but I do wear it. I will wear it.
Yeah.
Blue jersey, D.
Yeah. Blue jersey,
if you want to
B.
talk about the mecha, I'm saying D.
No.
I hate it.
I'm saying B.
I don't hate it.
I don't hate it.
I don't hate it. It's not Bucks, and that's why it's a D for me.
It's not Bucks, which is why I don't know. It's a low B for me also.
Fair. Cream City.
It's a decent design. I don't know.
I think it's a fine design. Having two shades of blue is just like extra rubbing it in my face how not Bucks it is. Not just one blue, but two blues. And
you know what might knock it down to C?
What?
The wave videos.
Yeah. How about, should I send you 8 videos of water lapping? Oh, God.
That was awful.
Cream City. Okay. Cream City, S tier for me. I hope they go back to this.
Yeah, S tier.
I might go get one. I hated it at first, which is funny.
I cannot, in my right mind, wear a jersey that says Cream City.
I really want to get one, actually. I might cop.
I mean, you do you, man. But like,
do you know?
I think it's a good jersey.
The color of the cream is Cream City cream, which I think is ridiculous.
Wait, what?
That's the official color. Like they all have the.
What the hell?
I say bricked up cream would be a good color.
Just
bricked up cream. How do you feel about that?
Why are you trying this hard? That's not. No, I'm talking to the people with this. Why?
I know.
Why are you trying this hard?
Great Lakes blue.
I don't understand.
I think it's like Goodlands green or just Cream City cream. I just think is ridiculous. Whatever.
Creams, City cream. How about that?
Yeah, or brick cream. I don't know. Brick cream is a little, but I think you just lean into it. Like I think Cream City is a little too. I just think you have to lean into it.
That's why I'm not buying it.
I am glad. I will say I'm glad they didn't win the title in the Cream City jerseys.
Oh, the memes would be fantastic.
I don't know if
I wish they
win
did
a championship in that.
I wish they did, Ty.
I don't know. I'm torn.
Ty, do you know how many tweets I will get off?
I think you're gonna get the tweets off regardless, Rohan.
That's fair.
The yellow mecha, I'm putting in D.
I'm putting in D, yeah.
I just think no. I like the idea. I do like the idea. I
like the concept. How about that?
Yeah. We love the
idea is like putting it in motion, which
no.
Just the idea of like honoring that mecha court, that era, that's good. The rest, the execution was garbage.
Agreed. The next one, I don't remember these.
I do. They were the City Edition jerseys. Like
they were the first one, I think.
Were they?
Maybe when they were the oldest I saw on a graphic.
Cream City, wasn't it?
No, Cream City was newer. These were the first on a graphic shared by someone in the Discord. These were like 2017, 18.
Oh yeah, you're right.
The black one that looks a lot like this was the newest one before this year. But this is like it's basically like the black one they wanted in, except it's primary cream with other color stripes
instead of black.
I don't think it works as well. I'm giving it a C.
Yeah, I'm giving it a C.
Also, I didn't find it memorable. I'll remember Cream City forever. I forgot this in like 3 years.
Yeah, for sure. And last but not least, we have their white classic home jerseys. A.
Yeah, right next to the away. You could talk me into S on those, but I like that we populated every tier.
Yeah, we did. This is even. Look at us.
This was a fun. I don't know why. We could probably put our tiers on the video, but I'll take a picture. We can share our tiers on socials at least.
Yes, we can.
So to recap here, what's your S tier?
My S tier is the title jersey solely because of the title.
I got you there.
then the antler jerseys
Yep.
on the sides, and then Cream City.
So we have the same. We have the same S and the same A. I did not expect this. Or do you have? You might have another A. Do you have three
No,
A's?
I don't. I just have the
The icon and association. So stupid.
That's
Home and
Nike's
away.
fault.
Home and away. Get out of here.
That's not the Bucks' fault. That's Nike's fault.
No, it's true. Well, B tier, I have the red. The only time they acknowledge red outside of the Meccas, and the original Fear the Deer for posterity. That's my JOB jersey, so I gotta at least have it a B.
I have those two plus the blue.
Yeah, see, I don't know. And then my C tier is the newest one, the purple monstrosity. Also, give us the damn deer head. Everyone wants the deer head. Give us the deer head back. But I have the purple, the white Mecca, and then the Cream City. I don't know what to call that one. Not Cream City. The cream with the stripes. We'll say that.
Yeah, I have the white Mecca and the cream with the stripes in C, and then in D I have the orange Mecca and the newest ones.
And I have the orange/yellow Mecca and the blue. It's not a Bucks jersey to me. I'm sorry.
God, just looking at this new jersey in context with all the other
Does
ones
not
makes
hold
me
up well.
It looks so bad. I don't know why this has fired me up so much.
A lot of the other teams, because you have to do 1 to 2 new jerseys a year, which is terrible. It's a terrible premise. There's not enough good jerseys.
Really though.
Well, that's what I was gonna say. So a lot of teams do very small tweaks. I think you kind of do though, because I think Miami would have kept doing Miami Vice for a while. I do feel like there's a little pressure to just do new ones so more people buy them. But Miami should clearly go back to Miami Vice. Their new ransom note. Then the number thing is cool. So have you seen this?
Yeah.
They let players pick from like 6 different fonts for each of their numbers.
And if you order from the Heat website, you can customize it.
That's neat as well.
Yeah.
That's super cool. But they should go back to
It just looks like a
Miami
ransom
Vice.
note. It looks like
it
a
does.
serial
It looks
killer.
kind of ridiculous. The
Heat
Cavs
culture,
did
baby.
that. The Cavs did that a couple years ago. It wasn't the
Last year,
numbers.
yeah.
The numbers weren't customizable, but yeah, it was a rock and roll thing. But it does look. I don't know when ransom notes became cool. Zodiac Killers on TikTok. I don't know. He's popped. The idea is on TikTok. I don't think the guy is. If he's alive.
The guy's dead. Remember, they found him last week.
You know what? I'm glad you brought this up. They're not that was not the FBI who said that. That was just like a group of people who investigated and presented their conclusion.
Seriously?
Yeah, it might not be him.
Wow.
Yeah. So watch yourself out there. If you change your routines with that info, change them back.
I feel like you're talking to exactly like 3 people in the world right now.
I was joking. I was joking. The guy would be like 90 years old. It doesn't matter. But I mean, it matters a little. It matters a little.
You don't know.
Anyway, enough Zodiac. Enough,
I don't even know what
enough Grayson Allen talk. Sorry, Grayson. Just kidding. It's more of a Ted Cruz joke.
It's your face. Just why does he have to look like that? Exactly.
Let's move on. What was the last thing? Oh, but this one just doesn't hold. Oh, but the Heat should go back. Like the Heat should just go back to Miami Vice. I hope the Bucks bring back Cream City. Like I think that is. Oh, and the Antlers. Like they can just alternate those two every year with like one not noticeable tweak, and that works for me. And the purple deer head. Give us the purple deer head.
Yeah, or you could just like have good designs.
That's
also an option.
Also that.
Like I'm just looking through all of the jerseys that were unveiled this year. Like the Wolves absolutely smashed it. Like they just went back to they went back to the old trees and put a little spin on it. At least it's not trying to do like 10 things at once.
I said I think a lot of them suck, and people disagreed with me a lot. I think a lot of these are not good.
The Nets one is good.
I think it's okay. Warriors is fine. I don't like the Heat, although the number thing saves it. Like a lot of
New York is solid.
I don't like the Lakers purple thing at all.
Nah.
Not a fan. The Kings one, they just like threw Sacktown on it and called it a New Jersey.
Yep.
Utah, stop with the colors. Pick 3-4 colors. They have too many colors. The Spurs,
Utah does the same jersey every year though.
I know they do. I like the Fiesta Spurs idea. I don't think it works that well on white. I think it works a lot better on black.
I was talking to my friend about this, I think on Twitter. It was just like, I like it, just the collar is a little too much.
I don't know if those colors work with a mainly white. I think they're awesome when it's a black jersey. But they did a white jersey this year. I don't like it. Sixers, like, what are these Tic Tacs? What is this? I don't know what the Sixers are doing. The Bulls is good. The Bulls looks better on players than it does in person. It's fine. Blazers is fine. Detroit, I don't care for that much.
Houston throwing it back to the Hakeem days.
It's pretty good. Memphis is just like, we made the collars really sick, and that's about it. The Cavs, I think, is fine. I don't love it like some people do, but I think it's fine. Atlanta's good.
It looks like a weird London basketball team.
OKC, what the hell? What is?
Yeah, I don't know.
It's white on. It's literally like just white on white on white.
It's just gray and white.
That's a little on the nose. Like, we get it, but come on.
Oh man.
I think the Clippers one is dumb. It's just like powder blue with some orange. I don't like the Wizards one.
I like powder blue.
I think it's a fine color. I don't know.
Denver is okay.
Yeah, it's just okay. Everything Dallas does, I think, is hideous. Every time I think Dallas has bottomed out on design, they find a way to prove me wrong.
Yeah, I don't know what they're doing. Atlanta, I'm torn on. I like it. I think I like it.
That's good. Atlanta's is good. Phoenix's is really good.
Again, they're one of the teams that just keep it the same.
Yeah, and it's a good idea. Orlando, stop with the orange. Who told you orange was one of your colors? It's not. You're not orange. Stop. I'm sick of them and their orange. They're just like, maybe someone will tune into the games if we're orange now. No. I'm glad they got the pinstripe back, but get the orange out of here. I'm sick of it. I don't like it, if you couldn't tell.
What else have we not roasted? Charlotte is
It's like the same thing with the orange with the honeycomb shape.
the honeycomb they've like put into their arena.
I know. We're Buzz City. Buzz City is the worst nickname any team has ever tried to brand around.
Why? It's fine. I'm also just a sucker for I love a good honeycomb design.
I don't hate it. I don't hate it. I don't love it though. It's a little too much to me.
It's something about hexagons that really.
Imagine if the Bucks put bricks on all their stuff. Cream City.
They might next. You never know, Ty. That's going to be next year's design.
Oh, I shouldn't have said it.
It's just going to be brick. It's going to be like, you guys do not appreciate the history of the city of Milwaukee. You guys don't know how many businesses are called Cream City. You don't know anything about this. We are going to just make this entire jersey just a brick. How about that? And it's going to be cream colored. It's going to be Cream City cream brick color cream. And that's what it's going to be. What are you going to do about it? Buy it. We're wearing it 15 times a year.
The special court that they haven't done in forever, it's actually cream bricks. Like it's like an outdoor court.
No, they're actually going to pull Cream City bricks from like the oldest buildings in Milwaukee, and they're going to play basketball on that. Kyrie, if he comes back, is going to have a field day.
Oh, never forget. He thought the Mecca homage court was the actual Mecca court. One of the most under the radar dumb Kyrie things.
It's just I don't know. It's gonna be something. Watch it next year. Be Cream City brick something. I'm calling it right now.
I think they're gonna tap past stuff one more year, but I wouldn't be stunned. They have another one to unveil this year, don't they?
Oh, their earned edition or whatever.
Do they have a statement? There's like 5 options. There has to be at least one more coming, right?
There's like one for making the playoffs, right? That's the earned edition.
Yeah, but I wonder if it'll just be like another black one or something. I'm not sure.
No, that was the statement.
Are they gonna? Is that this year too?
I have no idea.
I think they only have 3 as of right now with this new, and they're not going to wear the new one for a while. But
yeah, so if they do have 5, so that means it's the
I don't think they have to have all 5 every year, but
yeah.
Does anyone know how this works?
No, because they change the rules every year.
Yeah. I think the only ones we didn't touch on, Toronto is just trying a little bit too hard.
Toronto has a solid color scheme.
Yeah, Drake owns that franchise. That might be it. Oh, Celtics.
Did you remember the story where they wanted to make it like the OVO jerseys be their home, like their actual jerseys, and DeMar was like, "What are we doing?"
DeMar rocks. The Celtics I actually think is quite nice. It's a lot better than the banner thing that they tried.
Oh, that was awful.
I think
that
it looks
doesn't mean
good.
This is good.
I like it. I think using the white works in that way. The Pacers one, it's like, you know that meme where I forget the guy's name right now, He's very fit. Steve Buscemi is trying to act like a kid in school with the skateboard.
How do you do, fellow kids?
That's this Pacers jersey. That's the like. Oh, we're really hip. We got a flashing line, and some of our letters have like different stuff going on. No, it's stop. You're not fooling.
Oh, the
anyone.
Wizards jersey looks like a prison uniform.
Yeah, I think that's what playing there has been like for quite a while too.
Hey, they're 5-2.
They are 5-2.
I don't know. What
The
else
Pelicans sucks. The Pelicans. I think that's
the Pelicans. Pelicans are the team most in need of a rebrand.
No, OKC is. It's OKC.
OKC's better than New Orleans.
I disagree heavily.
I don't know. At least OKC feels more modern than New Orleans.
Does it?
Yeah.
I'm surprised they didn't slap sleeves on this bad boy. They love sleeve jerseys.
Hot take. I like the sleeve jerseys.
For like, you know what? Do they not do Christmas anymore? Because Christmas jerseys, because they do all these. I would rather have 2 and then like 2 max alternates and do the special Christmas jerseys.
Yeah.
Those were
Bring
fire.
back the special Christmas jerseys.
And
we're just biased because we see the. Remember, they used to make it for every team, even if
the
they
Bucks
didn't
had
play on
ones when
Christmas.
they didn't have games.
Yeah, and now they play, and now there's no Christmas
It
jerseys.
sucks. It sucked. Christmas jerseys were rad. Now it's just like these things. It's like, ugh.
The Bucks are playing on Christmas, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
They're just
year,
gonna. Well, Giannis is here. They're going to.
Yeah.
But they.
I feel like I don't remember that, but I just assumed it's the case, which is wild. How we're there now.
I think it's Boston.
Is it really?
That's
That's gonna be
they
a
host. They
bloodbath.
host Boston at 1:30.
Oh yeah, it's a home Christmas
Yep.
game. Oh yeah, that's gonna be a tire fire for the Celtics.
I can't wait.
I mean, if they survive until then.
You know what's funny is this slate might be kind of ass.
What is it?
Hawks Knicks will be really good. That was a good one, but that's the 11, so they kick off with that. Bucks will destroy the Celtics at 1:30. Warriors Suns will probably be good. Yeah, that seems like a good game. I think the Warriors might just kill the Suns, but it should be a good game. So let's have some stuff going on. I think Nets Lakers. I don't even know who's gonna win, but it could be ugly.
I think it's gonna be the Nets.
It's either like a 90 to 88 game that the Lakers win, or like a 130 to 120 game that the Nets win. But
see, at least like both of the teams are sort of banged up right now, and like we still got Harden getting back into game shape.
Is that gonna happen?
Well,
now that they took away his whole bag?
You never know. It might. He can get in shape though. That is an action.
We've seen this is a long slump for him.
No, that's true, but it's still like 2 months away, less than 2 months away. But
okay.
I don't know. I feel like the healthy version of the Nets versus the healthy version of the Lakers is just an absolute just blowout win for the Nets.
I agree with that.
So I don't know. Is there another game after that?
Oh, there's 2 more. Oh no, it was one
more.
One more. Mavericks Jazz in Utah.
Oh God,
Utah
get out of here with that. Get out of that. Who wants to see that game?
That should be the Nuggets. That should be the Nuggets playing that game. Is my take. Jokic deserves a game instead of the Mavericks.
Yes.
Utah deserves it. Listen, they're boring, but they're a good team. They play high-level basketball.
Yeah.
And Mitchell rocks. Gobert is there, whatever.
No, I agree.
Mitchell
I was
rocks.
hoping you were saying the Mavs.
Yeah, the Mavs don't belong there. They're not good enough.
The Jazz.
The Clippers belong there. They weren't going to get it because of Kawhi, but the Clippers belong there.
And that's probably why the Nuggets aren't.
But they still have Jokic.
That's true. I'm not saying that you're wrong.
Also, the Celtics. The Celtics are the other team. The
Celtics do not. It's. I don't know why they're getting the love that they are. New York is just always going to play on Christmas.
But they're fun now, at least. Like they look good. Honestly, it would have been fire. Bulls Bucks would have been good.
Yes,
that would have been. I think next year we probably will get that. But Celtics should not be there. I get Lakers have to be there as long as LeBron is there. I get it. And they're the Lakers, but also like I would be mad if they didn't have LeBron and they got this game, but LeBron's team is it's like Giannis now. Like LeBron's team is gonna be on Christmas.
Yeah, and that was the Knicks thing for years, but now they're just actually good.
Yeah, like they didn't get it for a couple years, I will say.
I know, but even like the Porzingis years they got it against the Bucks.
They shouldn't have, but they did. But then after that they did actually finally lose it. And now it's back. And this one is more earned.
Yes, I agree. Bing bong or whatever.
Bing bong. Okay, I
Mike
think
Breen brought that up.
we
That's
wrapped up
insane.
the Bucks talk at 50 minutes, and now we're into Bucks
How do you?
uniforms, other uniforms.
Oh God, that's almost an hour ago.
Yeah,
Okay, well, we if you're listening this long, you're a real one, and we
appreciate you.
appreciate you. We really do appreciate you. But yeah, let's wrap this up. Thank you, everyone, for listening to this episode of the Gyro Step here on the Gyro Step Podcast Network and the Blue Wire Podcast Network. If you did enjoy the show, make sure you leave a 5-star rating on whatever podcast platform you can, but especially Apple. Make sure you are subscribed to the YouTube channel, Gyro Step Podcast Network. If you're already watching this and you're not subscribed, make sure to subscribe. If you want to see us make weird hand motions and stuff and drink pressed coconut water,
It's a huge day.
It is.
No, it's a huge. Do you know why it's a huge day?
Why?
We have not one but 3 new reviews.
Oh, shoot. Let's do this.
I got it ready. We're here. I'm ready. Oh my goodness. Huge day. So, not to cut you off. I'm sorry. It's got so excited. Overwhelmed with excitement. So, if you leave a 5-star review on Apple Podcasts, we will read it on the show. Or if you don't have Apple, people get very mad at us. You can tweet at us at Ty Windisch, at Katti Jr. Do whatever. You can get in the Discord. If you want to get in the Discord, you can send us your review, or you can just show proof of subscription, show us you're subscribed to the Substack, whatever. But we read the 5-star Apple reviews. Here is the oldest new Apple review. 5 stars, of course, from Cam ALR. This is in the US. Relatable. Okay, we'll take that. 5 stars. I started listening last year during the playoff run and have continued this season. These guys offer a nice insight and analysis that is always interesting to listen to. It's very nice. Thank you, nice. Cam. Much appreciated.
Yeah. Oh, that's nice. I'm glad we have you after the playoff run. Hopefully my meltdown didn't dissuade you, or it actually dissuaded you. I don't know.
Persuaded.
No,
that's a good review, and we got a couple more. It's some good ones. We have some international ones, but you'll have to wait until the next episode to hear those. And if you want yours featured on the show, leave one. Leave a 5-star review, any country, Apple Podcasts. We will track it down and read it. Got to be 5 stars.
Oh yeah. So yes, make sure you do that. And did I go through subscriptions? I'll do it again. YouTube channel, Gyro Step Podcast Network on YouTube. Substack, gspn.substack.com if you want to find us all. bit.ly/findgspn. That's where you get everything that you need. But yeah, thank you for listening to this episode. Go Bucks. We'll talk to you next time.